Możemy kontynuować. Dobra, tu już nic więcej nie ma. Dobra, co tu jeszcze jest? Krypta, okej. Drzwi do klatki sodowej. Chodźmy do krypty.
Locked.
Locked. God damn it. Chamstwo. Dobra, klatka schodowa. Gdzie idzie?
I believe the tasks that lie ahead of me are down here, near the ground.
Mhm.
Because God created us in his image. That's why we can all pray to him.
We don't need to go to church for that.
No, we are the temple.
No, we are the temple.
Why a church then?
Brother Ronaldus, how are you?
Huh? What?
How are you? Are you well?
Oh, Brother Philip. Yes, I am well.
Przygłuchawy?
It's just that the dead won't stay in the ground.
What?
The dead. It's probably those badgers always digging up the graves.
My father gave the priory a good deal of land to keep me fed. I won't eat salted fish all day.
Me neither.
Shall we go into the cellar again tonight?
Yes, Brother Marcus. You still have old Cuthbert's keys?
Indeed I do. I hid them right in the church. Stuffed them in the large crack in the wall.
I could do some crack stuffing myself.
I bet you could.
Okej. Może tak. Chodźmy najpierw zdobyć ten kluczyk. Nie będą mi tutaj podjadać na mojej warcie.
Why cathedrals? Why do we create temples if we are the temple?
Niedobra.
The novice said he hid the keys in here. They're here. I have them.
Nice. Dobra, no to chodźmy może tutaj do krypty. Dobrze, dobrze. Nice.
Let's see what we can find. No reason to be afraid. Nothing.
Mhm.
These old cathedrals are bound to make strange sounds. Thought so. Nothing here. Nothing here. The saint rests in peace. Hello?
O. Co to?
What is that? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid?
O kysz!
What is that? It's the size of a child. Hello? Oh! Oh. An owl. Just an owl. I will contemplate this later.
Pięknie. Mm.
God will bring with him those who have fallen asleep.
Dobra, no, nic więcej nie ma, nie? Jep. Tu nic więcej nie ma. Nie, tu nie.
Isn't it almost arrogant to try and build a greater temple?
Ci nadal gadają.
That.
Dom przeora. Zbadać miejsce zbrodni. Czy może nie miejsce zbrodni. Po prostu.
I asked not to be disturbed.
Brother Remigius, I'm sorry I interrupted your service.
You mean Prior James's service?
Quite so. I heard he fell through the ice. Horrible.
Yes. I was the one who found his rosary by the river. Now let me continue my work.
Why would Prior James walk out onto the river at night?
He was chased.
Chased? By whom?
Devil.
The accuser.
But why would the devil be chasing him?
Better to not get involved in all this.
Hmm.
Don't you have your own priory cell to run?
You really believe the devil killed the prior?
Some of the brothers do, and I respect their beliefs. We may never know what happened, and that's that. Now let me get back to my work.
Did a knight come to Kingsbridge within the last few weeks?
Of course. Even the bishop and the earl were here for the Christmas service. I held the sermon.
And the week before?
That week I was not here. Andrew Sacrist and I traveled to Shiring to hire cooks and buy food for our guests.
I see.
Okej. Du.
Why not?
We wouldn't be here if it weren't for the cathedral.
What we have to ask ourselves is, can our Saint Adolphus still protect Kingsbridge in these dark times?
Yes, indeed.
Protect Prior James.
Ever since that lightning struck the cathedral, he wasn't the same.
When you take over my position as sacrist, you should implore the bishop to send us a new relic. By then I'll be sub-prior. The new prior and I will support you in this.
All Kingsbridge needs is faith and hard work.
Philip of Gwynedd. I wanted to talk to you. How dare you disturb Brother Remigius' requiem?
I'm afraid the choir is waiting for me.
Stay, brother. There's no reason you shouldn't hear what Philip has to say for himself.
I was shocked by the prior's death.
We all were. I'm sure at St. John's you're a good prior, but here we adhere to the rules.
You mentioned a new prior.
The election will be held in a few days, when we all convene for the chapter meeting.
Brother Andrew, have you heard about a knight in Kingsbridge?
Aside from the ones that visited for Christmas? No. If there had been an official guest, I would know. And no one stayed at our guest house.
Okay.
Let us continue this conversation later.
Of course. There's a lot of planning for me to do for the upcoming election.
It feeds us.
We are people of God. Yet we need to eat too.
We come together here. The pilgrims donate. So do the nobles.
I see. A temple to feed the temple.
This priory is so much bigger than our small cell in the forest.
Nice, okay. Kuchnia. A zatem kuchnia.
Philip. Brother Milius.
Come. Warm yourself by the oven.
Is that Philip? Tell him to warm himself by the oven.
Thank you, Brother Cuthbert. You keep everything nice and tidy around here, Milius?
It's not easy. This morning one of my ladles broke. That's never a good sign. Everything is falling apart.
Okay.
Milius, why do you keep a beautiful pot like this around?
Oh, it reminds me that we should strive for order and beauty. I
Order!
started collecting some seeds and nuts because I wanted to start a new garden.
A good idea.
I never got around to collecting more, though. If you find some, let me know.
Okay.
Hard at work, as usual, Milius?
I have to serve salt fish 6 times a week now.
We hear you have fresh fish every day at your cell in the forest.
Every other day, we even have poultry.
You have done wonderful work at St. John's, Philip. We, on the other hand, had a weak prior for 13 years. May the Lord rest his soul. What you worked hard for at St. John's is wasted here in the mother house.
After the election, the new prior ought to put things right.
Remigius? Put things right.
vote for Remigius. He would be no better than Prior James.
He is the sub-prior, and he made promises to some of the brothers, like the sacrist. He's about to burn all the books and documents in the prior's room, including the priory's ledgers.
O,
Remigius says James asked for everything to be burnt after his death, except for his Bible.
What? Without the ledgers, the Priory's finances will be beyond saving. Was no one else nominated?
Only Cuthbert.
I refuse. I'm too old.
No one else dares to follow in Prior James's footsteps.
Coś mi tutaj śmierdzi. I to nie są solone ryby.
Not since he began talking to the devil.
What?
One day he started talking to the devil, as if they were standing side by side. He was bargaining with the devil for his soul, whispering about his sins.
His sins? Did you see a knight in Kingsbridge?
You mean, aside from the nobles attending the Christmas service? No, I don't remember any knights visiting us.
Okay.
We'll talk more later. I brought some cheese from St. John's.
Thank you. Could you give it to Cuthbert, please?
Okay.
The old cellar will be a better place to store it. The brothers will be delighted.
Ah, wonderful.
I always put some extra stones on the stove to warm up water. Put one in your pocket and you'll keep warm.
Oh? Ouch!
Careful, they're hot.
Okay.
Brother Cuthbert.
Ah, we were waiting for you. I hope you brought some of that wonderful cheese you make at St. John's.
Of course I did.
Splendid. Thank you.
I will prepare it for our brothers on Sunday.
Brother Cuthbert, you seem worried.
Prior James was a kind man, but the priory is in a terrible state, Philip.
Philip knows. He was just too kind to say anything.
Yes, I know. I wanted to use my New Year's visit to talk with Prior James about these matters.
We should be rich. The priory has much land and collects from many parish churches, but we are in debt. Our novices steal from us, Philip.
The novices are stealing?
Yes, someone took my keys. Remigius blames me for losing them. But someone used them to steal food from the cellar, more than once. Today I found something missing again.
Cuthbert, I believe I found your keys.
Where did you find them?
The thief hid them in the cathedral.
That is a sacrilege. Will you report the thief to Remigius, Brother Philip?
I will think about it.
Keep them until we know what to do, will you?
Has there been a knight to Kingsbridge recently?
Milius, wasn't there a poor soul found dead before Christmas?
I don't know if he was a knight.
He was put to rest in the cemetery.
The cemetery. That was the right thing to do.
Okej.
Let us continue another time, Brother Cuthbert.
Of course.
Okej, czyli w sumie możemy nakablować. W sumie nawet chyba powinniśmy nakablować, jakby nie patrzeć. Okej. No dobra.
What is it? Can you not see that I'm working?
Brother Marcus stole Cuthbert's keys.
Brother Marcus. I will deal with him. You were right to report this to me. Theft is something we cannot take lightly.
About the keys that were stolen by Brother Marcus.
I will deal with him.
Okej. Dobra, może teraz trzeba byłoby z nim pogadać, albo może trzeba było wcześniej pogadać z nimi, okej.
We should go to shiring sometime. Heard they have a big-titted harlot there. One that would even do you.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's not the time to consult script.
Nie. Okej.
We used to eat them. Now, they're eating us.
Okej.
An hour is coming when all who are in the tombs will hear his voice and come out. Those who have done good to the resurrection of life. And
Okej, dobra. Oj Boże. Tu jest tank, tu jest dom dla gości, dobra.
It's getting cold. When will these novices learn to close the door?
Brother Cuthbert.
Philip,
About the keys.
will you report the thief to Remigius, Brother Philip?
I already have.
Keep them until we know what to do, will you?
Okej, dobra.
I will leave you to your...
I will leave you to yours.
Dobra. Wyjście, tak. O, nie.
There is no one in there. No need to lock the guest house.
Mhm. Dobra, zobaczmy, co tutaj mamy za ścieżkę. Dobra, to jest ta ścieżka.
The keys will not be able.
Młyn, dobra, do młyna chyba będzie pasować.
This priory is so much bigger than our small. Locked. Locked.
Tu. Droga na południe. Brat Paul.
Brother Paul?
Philip. Ouch. Oh.
What's wrong with your foot, Brother Paul?
Oh, just a chilblain. It will ease when the spring comes.
You should have a fire.
It's all right. It's not that cold.
Don't take it lightly. Many will die this winter for lack of food or shelter.
Remigius thinks the Lord is testing us. Only the sinners perish.
No, the poor perish, and those that he has freezing out here.
Don't say anything to Remigius, will you? If he thinks I've been complaining, he'll be displeased.
Have you heard about a knight in Kingsbridge?
A knight? Oh, yeah. Yes. He was just lying by the road, just a mile away from the priory. He must have fallen from his horse.
Where is he now?
He died. We buried him in the cemetery.
Did he have a name? Did he say anything?
Oh, he could not speak. But the look in his eyes told me he was afraid. I held his hand and prayed with him while he died.
Did the knight have anything with him?
There was a letter. I gave it to Prior James. Remigius will probably burn it with the rest of James's papers. James insisted that all his books and documents shall be burnt after his death, except for his Bible.
I heard about this. I think that would be unwise.
Sometimes I wonder if it was because of that letter. A few days later, Prior James fell through the ice. Right here. Philip, maybe I brought a curse on Kingsbridge.
For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Have faith in the Lord, Brother Paul. You did well.
Thank you, Philip.
Okay.
James, I pray for you that when you stand before God, he will look upon you with mercy.
Okej, dobra. Idziemy do przeora. Ten liścik, który nam ukradł.
I would like to take a look at Prior James's documents.
And why is that, Brother Philip?
Well, our little cell has given much to the mother house. I would like to ensure that all is accounted for.
So you do not trust us, Philip, is that it?
The state of this priory...
The state of this priory is the concern of the Prior of Kingsbridge.
I still would like to see the prior's documents.
They will be burned tonight.
I heard about that.
It was Prior James's last wish. I'm following his request.
But the new prior will be lost without the ledgers and contracts.
After the election, I'll be the new prior.
For now, you are not. Only the chapter meeting can decide on these matters.
Of course. Brother Andrew will surely understand why you would go against James's last request.
About the chapter meeting.
Oh, talk to Brother Andrew. He will be just as pleased as me to have you around. Now leave.
No leave. Okay. Skubaniec.
Yes.
We must take good care of us. And our cathedral.
We must.
Brother Andrew.
What is it now?
We can't allow Prior James's books to be burned.
That, Philip, was Prior James's wish.
This priory is in debt. And without the ledgers and documents, that will never change. Besides, the wisdom in his books is priceless.
It is not up to you to make decisions in this priory, Brother Philip.
Silence! Your self-indulgence is inexcusable. If you don't see why this priory needs those ledgers, you are a poor choice as a sub-prior.
Oh.
My one and only concern is the well-being of Kingsbridge.
If that is true, I won't stand in your way to argue your case in front of the chapter meeting. When I'm done here, I will tell all the monks to come to the chapter house.
Would it help if I went and told some of them?
Feel free to do that. But I insist that the choir finishes practicing before we start. They're already behind schedule.
Okay. Pięknie. Pięknie. Elegancko. ławy. Ławy.